Alright, I'm just giving it a few minutes for people to jump on if they want to. Alright, just about set up. Hey, what's going on, Plowboy? Ungrateful Peasant, Stephen Mann, Kodak, Talkman. Alright, so we'll give it a few minutes, see if anybody else wants to jump in. As you all seen, I got pretty frustrated the other day with the R92. It is what it is. I don't edit my videos really. I mean, sometimes I'll cut stuff out or something if I'm doing. Hey, 11 Bang Bang, how you guys doing? Sometimes I'll edit a video, like I'll cut it down to a short or something like that when I do a video. But for the most part, I don't edit my videos. And the other day when I did that video, I'd been practicing and practicing, had a bad day, got myself a couple times in the arm, and me, I'm a hothead sometimes. Blew my steam, threw the gun in the yard. Is what it is. You know, I'm not going to apologize for it. It's just a damn gun. If I broke the stock, I can buy a new stock. If I bent the barrel, I can put a new barrel on it. I'm the type person I have to vent. Or otherwise, if I sit there and let things eat at me, tomorrow when I'm at work driving down the road or something like that, and somebody cuts me off, I'm going to run somebody off the road, punch them in the mouth, whatever, and that's going to be a whole lot more expensive than a stock or a barrel. But I'm not going to blow the gun up. Um, Actually, Garrett from 11 Bang Bang made a good point. I'm trying to ask the gun something or to do something that it was never designed to do. Um, I do know that it can be done. If you've never seen Jay Wheeler's channel, go check it out. He actually did a video trying to help me, show me how to do it. It absolutely can be done with a stock R92. Jay Wheeler's done it. Chrome has done it. So it can be done. Now, talking to Garrett, talking to some other people. Other people have had real Winchester 92s. Some of them have had Rossi's. Some of them had Citadels. A couple of people said you can have two of the exact same gun and one will do it and one won't, which got me doing some research on it. And apparently, John Wayne, two of his movies, I'm tired, so I'm drawing a blank, brain dead. I can't remember the name of the movies right now. But in two of his movies, one of his earlier ones, one of his later ones, he actually spin cocks a Winchester. off a horseback. John Wayne could spin cock the rifle, but John Wayne never spin cocked any of them rifles in them movies and chambered a blank or a live round or anything else. He had the same problem I have. It was just spitting them out. So they actually edited that in. Or at least this is all the information I've read on it. They edited it so, of course, you know how Hollywood does, where it looked like he spin cocks it and shoots it. Um, Chuck Connors and the Rifleman. I don't remember him actually spin cocking and shooting around, but apparently he did. I read some articles on that. Um, his gun was never ever, even though it was a real Winchester, it was never safe to fire live ammo through. He actually had three guns, from everything I read, two Winchesters and one that was a Winchester clone, and the clone is the one that they threw around and dropped on the ground or whatever. But he had one for when he spin cocked, and it actually, right above the chamber on the barrel, it had been drilled into, had a spring and like a detent type pin that would stick out because he was having the same troubles of the blanks popping out on him, and so that he could shoot it. So it made that gun, because drilling into the barrel like that, where it was never safe to fire live ammo. But like I said, it can be done. Jay Wheeler's done it. Chrome's done it, and I'm gonna do it. I'm not one that likes to admit defeat. I get aggravated. I've got to let the steam off, whatever. But I'm not done with this. By looking at my two different Winchesters I got, they're 94s, 30-30s. I was wondering why I could do it with them and I couldn't do it with this 92 clone. So I spent about 4.5 hours last night, and I would put 30-30 rounds in the 30-30, rack it open, and then literally, like this, sit there and spin it while looking at it upside down. And on one of them, it pushes my 30-30 bullet, like here's your rails for your bolt. It pushes the tip of it underneath the rail, and that's what keeps that one from falling out. The other one stays centered, but what I noticed is there's a little bit of drag on the carrier, so it keeps the shell from being able to go like this when it's upside down. There's just enough drag where it holds it steady between the two rails in the frame and then the carrier. So then when I tried to do it with my 92, the actual rim of the brass is sloppy in there, and that's why my 92, I guess, feeds so well. Even after firing black powder and getting dirty and everything else, I mean, that thing just, I mean, it feeds like a dream. But it's pretty sloppy in there. So what I'm going to do is I ordered a spare carrier, and I'm going to take the original one out. I'm going to take the spare, and that's why I did this. So if it doesn't work, I'm not ruining the original part. I am going to probably use what they used to call a crane lock on revolvers. A lot of your competition shooters and that, to keep the crane locked up even a little bit better. And I think Smith & Wesson was the first one to start it with the triple lock, where it would lock on the front of the ejection rod, it would lock in the back of the cylinder, but then there's a detent ball that would lock into, it went into the crane, but it would lock into the frame. I have one of them Power Custom detent kits for a couple revolvers I did in the past. So what I'm going to do is, in the carrier, I'm going to put one or two of them detent balls where, when the 45 Colt brass, let's say this is the round, when it's sitting there like this, it's actually sitting on the carrier, and this is the carrier. Then you got your rails up here. Well, the problem I'm having is there's so much slop between the two rails and the carrier that as it's flipping upside down, it just like that. There's no drag, no nothing. So by putting them detent balls in there, they should catch behind the rim and keep it from tipping. And then, yet because they're spring loaded, as the bolt closes, there shouldn't be any drag or nothing on it, and it should just slip right over top of them and chamber. We're going to see if that works. I'm not going to stop until I make this particular gun work and do it. I wanted to do it with a completely stock gun because I know other guys have done it. I am to the point where if I can do it with two different Winchester 94 30-30s, then I have to believe that with a different 92 I could probably do it. I don't believe that anybody is capable of doing it with the one that I got, just because, like I said, it's so loose in there, even though it's a brand new gun. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm going to take and look through here for questions here in a minute. But what the hell? Stupid notifications popping up on my laptop. But I'm not going to give up on it. And like I said, I could have edited videos and made it look like I was firing blanks or live rounds, spin cocking it. I don't fake things. I either do it or I'm either going to do it or I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to edit it to make myself look better. If you see me doing a shooting video, if I have a bad day shooting, I'm not going to edit it to make it look like I did it, had a better day than what I had. What you see is what you get. I'm just a regular guy. You know, I have a bad temper. Sometimes I blow my top. Most of the time, as I've gotten older, I've been able to maintain and keep my cool, because in the past, in my younger days, blowing my top got me in a lot of legal trouble, let's put it that way. So, but to all of you that reached out to me trying to help me, or just telling me to, hey man, just put it down, take a break, you know, go back to it, I really appreciate that. To the guys that wanted to help me figure out what was wrong with it, or just give me their experience, I greatly appreciate that. And then I just appreciate the guys that understand, look, I had a bad day. Um, couple of people apparently, I've never seen their names before, but a couple of people apparently didn't like it, which is weird because I had a lot of people saying blow the gun up. People like to see guns get blown up, and I'm not against blowing guns up, but I'm not going to blow up a gun because it won't do what I want it to do when it was never designed to do that. I mean, if I'm angry, I might say I'm going to do that or whatever, but I'm not going to just intentionally destroy a gun unless it's a high point, or, you know, Smith and Wesson Schofield, because everybody knows Ethan doesn't, he hates them Schofields. Um, no, I wouldn't blow up a Schofield Smith and Wesson, even if it was a clone. But if I could find a toy one, I'd blow it up and let Ethan think I blew up a real Schofield just for the fun of it, because he'd lose his mind. If Garrett's watching, I'm sure Garrett would think that was funny. But so we're gonna make it work one way or another. If it takes me a week, if it takes me a month, if it takes me 6 months, if it takes me a year, sooner or later I'll figure out a way to make it work without wrecking the integrity of the firearm, where it can't never shoot live ammo. Um, so that's where we're at with that. But like I said, usually I'm pretty mellow. Usually I'm pretty cool. Um, you guys just seen a bad day. I mean, it was a bad day all day at work, and it just got worse as I got home. Uh, so, I mean, it is what it is. I don't make no apologies. If somebody got that offended by me blowing off some steam, then hit the road. Don't worry about it. No hard feelings. It is what it is. Um, one person really must have not liked me throwing the gun and told me I was a psycho. You know, whatever, man. Don't watch the channel. A lot of people commented that they've done the same thing, or they wanted to do the same thing so many different times. So I know I'm not alone in that. Um, Another guy called me unhinged. Hey, you know what? Think what you want about me. I really don't care. I will say that me throwing that Rossi 92, I got more views on that video in a short amount of time than I have on any video I have since this new channel started. I had over 2,000 views in the first hour and a half or 2 hours, and then it just died right off. I mean, it's in a couple days it's gotten 300 views, but I do have to say that you know, it was pretty. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty cool watching the views on that thing go up. I mean, just like refreshing it, it was going up 5 to 10 views, and I was waiting for the hater comments, and I really didn't get that many. I only got a few. I was really surprised. Most people were like, "Hey, I've been there. I can't believe you did that, but I've wanted to do that so many times." Some people actually said they've done the same thing. Some said they've done even worse. So I'm not gonna feel bad about it. It is what it is. But I'm gonna read some comments now. Hey, Brian Smith, how you doing, bud? 11 Bang Bangs here. Jesse Dallas, how you doing? Tuco, he'd blow up a Ruger. Ooh, boy, that'll get a lot of hate, man. Rugers are loved, but I don't know if you could blow up a Ruger. I mean, I've ran some hot rounds through 44 mag Rugers, and I've never been able to blow one up. I mean, I guess it's possible. I'm not challenging you, Tuco. Unhinged, yeah, buckshot prepper. That's what they said. If if you bought the gun, why do people have issues? And that is Kodak. You know, I don't know. I mean, people don't seem to have issues with uh, Kentucky ballistics blowing up guns or other people, but maybe people love the old Western guns as much as I do, and maybe that's why they were so upset. You know, the couple were upset that I threatened to blow it up. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it really don't matter. I had a bad day. I'm not gonna make apologies for having a bad day. I think everybody has them. It wasn't like I was swearing real bad or just being a complete jerk or nothing. So I don't feel bad at all about it. I'm just trying to see the comments. Love it. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people thought it was funny. They had thought it was pretty entertaining. When I looked back at it, I was laughing at myself. It was pretty entertaining. You could just see the frustration on my face and that. But I do have guns that I can blow up. I have a inline muzzle loader that was given to me that I'll never shoot. I'm not an inline muzzle loader fan. I think it was one of the Meyer ones or something. It was probably $100 or something. One of them cheap inlines, but it's 50 caliber. I could blow that up, you know, a couple hundred grains of blue dot in it or something. I got that Damascus barreled shotgun that I'm gonna blow up, but I already tried blowing it up once before and it didn't work out so well. That thing's tough as nails. But when we hit 1,500 subscribers, I'm gonna jam a 16 gauge shell in. Well, it should slide just about to the middle of the barrel, or a 20 gauge, and then I'm gonna put a 3-inch mag, either buckshot or birdshot, behind that and light it off with a string. And I got some other guns I could blow up that just they're not safe to shoot. So I mean, if you guys really want to blow up a gun, I don't have a problem doing something like that. You know. Yeah, Tom. See, that's what I'm talking about. You might not have thrown it over the cliff, but you know what I was thinking when I threw that rifle. Everybody's been there at one point or another. Put a 50 BMG round through it. Well, I don't have any 50 BMG rounds, and I don't know if you could buy them singly or not. But man, them things are expensive. I mean, I think they're more expensive than my 450 Nitro Express, and the last box of shells I bought for that cost me almost $9 a round. Hey Derek, how you doing today? I've been selling my soul, working all day. Sorry about that, guys. Um, 11 bang. I've tossed a few guns before in my life. AKs, yeah. AKs though, you can't hurt them. Where'd that comment go? Oh, waiting to be built AKs. Yeah, I'd hate to lose the parts though. Them things ain't. AK parts are not cheap anymore. happy if you hit 100. It just takes time. I mean, until your channel gets 1,000 subscribers, it's really hard to get YouTube to do anything with your channel as far as showing it, promoting it, or anything else. And if it's anything to do with guns, even after you get 1,000, it's still pretty hard I mean, they turn off notifications and everything else. Becoming Dangerous, yeah. I heard that song. I don't remember what day it was. It was the same day that 11 Bang Bang asked me if I had heard it. I had heard it that morning before, and that's about the truest song I think I've heard in many, many, many years, and that's why it's now my ringtone. Yes, it is definitely the best song out there right now, in my opinion, too, for sure. I haven't the GF3. I haven't ever shot one of them. Um, Most of my gun collection is single action Colts. I have a couple double action Colts, older ones. I have a couple Beretta 92 clones, but for the most part, most of my gun collection is just single action revolvers. Um, that's my thing. Rifles, I like old kind of exotic firearms. I have cape guns and drillings and double barrel rifles. I have a couple Winchester 94s. I have a AK. I have a couple SKSs and that. But I just really like old guns for some reason. They just appeal to me more. I like all guns, but preference wise, I prefer um, the old Western guns or the old, safari hunting elephant guns and that. Just where I'm at. But I do like all guns. Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about it, but like I said, I don't unless like I happen to be out at shooting range and somebody has a gun or something and they're like, "Here, check this out." I just don't really get into the new guns that much anymore. I don't know. I like the old West stuff. But that's where we're at on the Rossi 92. Um, I'm gonna keep going until I make it work and until I can do it. So, and if for some reason there's just no physical way to make that Rossi 92 spin cock, then I'm really leaning towards SBR in it and making a mare's leg out of it where I can switch the stock out and put a rifle stock on it or the mare's leg pistol grip stock. I really want a mare's leg, but man, the cheapest I've seen, even used ones, are $900,000, and I mean, they're cool. They were in the movies when I was, well, long before I was a kid, but they were in the reruns of TV shows and stuff when I was a kid, like Wanted Dead or Alive. But I just can't justify that kind of money for I don't know how else to put it, but a novelty gun. I mean, you got a gun that's 24, 25 inches long that only holds 5 rounds of 45 Colt. And yeah, it might have a little bit more range, be a little bit more accurate, and it'd be a cool truck gun. But it's not any better than the single action army. So it's just really hard for me to think about spending that kind of money on, like I said, what I would call a novelty gun. That being said, I got that Rossi dirt cheap. I mean, it was brand new in the box. I won it in an auction for $600. So, I mean, yeah, if I put 200 into it, I mean, I'd have 800 into it, but I couldn't buy a mare's leg for $800, and whatever. But I don't even know if I would do that because I'm really dead against SBRs. Not because I don't like SBRs. I just have a real problem with the thought of paying $200 to get permission to have a gun that I should just be able to have. So I don't know if I could really SBR that or not. I mean, that's something that I guess if it comes to that point in the future, we'll see. Yeah, Tuco mare's legs are really, really expensive. I mean, I've been looking for one for over a year. The Rossi Ranch hand, which is the mare's leg I like the best, it looks like the old one from the TV show. Cheapest one I've seen, and it was used, was $900. I've seen a few new ones that, even though they don't make them anymore, they must have been in a gun shop, and they're asking $1,100, $1,200 for it. I think the Henry is between $1,200 and $1,300. I've reached out to Rossi. They don't make it anymore. They won't sell me a receiver. I wanted to buy just a receiver that's never been built into a rifle that I could register as a pistol and build a mare's leg. Um, they won't sell me a receiver. They won't even sell me one and ship it to a dealer or nothing. They period. They don't sell receivers. They said. I reached out to Henry, and of course, this is a small channel. They're never going to get back to me. I reached out to them two different times. The last time was a couple weeks ago. Um, being a small channel, I really didn't expect them to get back with me. I really wanted to, you know, have them send me a mare's leg and 45 Colt and do some videos with it. And if I liked it, I'd buy it from them. I mean, if I liked it a lot. But like I said, being a small channel, they're not gonna do it. I reached out to Citadel, or not Citadel. What was it? There's another company making a mare's leg. It might have been Citadel. Um, that was a week ago. I still haven't heard anything back. I'm not counting on them sending me one either, just because of the fact that, like I said, this is a little channel. They're companies. They're out to make money. This channel doesn't get the amount of views that, if I was a bigger channel like Demolition Ranch or Brandon Herrera or whatever and asked them, I guarantee you they'd send me one. But they're not going to do it for a little guy or a little channel. Yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. So, you know, what do you do? Yeah, it's Chiappa. That's what it was. Thank you, Steven. That's the company. No, I'm sorry, Tom. No, Cimarron doesn't make one, Steven, but yes, Tom, it was Chiappa that I reached out to about a week ago. And I ain't heard nothing back. And like I said, I'm not figuring I'm gonna. And I'm not mad about it. I mean, I understand they're a company. They if they're gonna send you something like that, they want to get as much advertisement out of it as they can. I mean, it is what it is. Brian Smith, I watch all kinds of channels. I mean, I like Brandon Herrera's channel. I mean, it's not the kind of guns I'm into, but that AK-50, it's pretty cool. I like Demolition Ranch. They're entertaining. I mean, I don't watch them religiously. Like if Plowboys Ghost puts out a video, if Tuco puts out a video, if 11 Bang Bang puts out a video, as long as I get a notification, I watch every one of their videos. Stephen Mann, I mean, he's just got a little channel, but I watch most of his videos. But usually with his, I have to think about it because for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't give me notifications. And honestly, these are all people like Stephen Mann called me just a little while ago before this live to see if there was anything he could do to help me figure out the problem in that. I mean, 11 Bang Bang reached out to me. Tuco reached out to me. You know, Plowboy's a good friend of mine. So I try and make sure that I support their channels because they're all personal friends of mine. And I enjoy their content, but I try to make it a point to support them, you know, and watch their channels and that because, like I said, they're just good people, and good people are good people, you know. Hey, Washburn, I just seen your comment just now. I didn't see it earlier, but I can't see for shit even with these glasses. This small writing on this computer, it's bigger than the phone. I'd never see it on the phone. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Okay, we got a couple of people jumped in, but so like I said, I mean, Mare's Leg, yeah, it's cool. Um, but man, there's so many other guns I want more that I would actually use more. Um, the Rossi 92, honestly, the only reason I bought that was because I wanted to do some spin cocking content. Normally, honestly, I mean the Rossi's a beautiful gun. Let me straighten that out so that everybody understands. I bought that gun brand new, won it in an auction. The bluing on that thing is still immaculate. I can't believe it. I threw it out in the yard, left it overnight. It rained on it and everything else. All I did was dried it off. The wood to metal finish is as good as any Winchester I've got, better than one. The bluing is just beautiful on it. The only thing I did was changed it out from the regular lever to a big loop lever. So by no means am I bashing Rossi at all. That gun, I mean, it never jams, never misfeeds. The only time I have problems with it is when I'm trying to spin cock it, and it wasn't designed to do that. So you can't really blame the gun for it. It's an amazing gun, but I see Winchesters every now and then come into my gun shop, used ones for 800, you know, 700, 800, sometimes 900, some really nice ones, maybe 1,000. And, but I'm not going to hammer a Winchester, a real Winchester, spin cocking it. And I mean, it's just, I'm not going to do that to a real Winchester, not a lot or on a regular basis. So that's why I went with the Rossi. For one thing, Rossi's making them guns every day. So if I abuse that gun, spin cocking it, let's say I bend the lever or bend some kind of internal part of it or whatever, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to worry about it because it's just I can buy the parts and change them out. It's way easier to find Rossi R92 parts than it is Winchester parts right now. And real Winchester parts most likely are going to be used. So are they going to be worn out, half worn out? Are they going to need, you know, what? I don't know. So I just don't want to abuse a real Winchester, just like I would never take a real Colt single action army and make a race gun out of it. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't feel right about doing that. My Pietas do great. They look like Colts, and I can hammer the hell, beat the hell out of my Pieta, order parts, and unless it's a hand, they're pretty much drop in, you know. Yeah, Chiapa's doing the mare's leg. And I agree, Rossi's been making nice guns. Honestly, I've never owned a, well, no, I had a Rossi coach gun years ago that I got it from a guy that was hurting for money. I bought it from him, and then later on, he got back on his feet. He wanted it back. I kind of wish I wouldn't have sold it back to him, but I told him when he sold it to me, if he ever wanted it back, I'd give it back to him for what he paid me. Or I mean, what I paid him for it. So I gave him his gun back, and that was the only Rossi I ever had before this '92. I don't know much about Rossi's. Like I said, the only reason I bought this Rossi was because I won it on an auction, and the only reason I bidded on it was from Plowboy's videos talking about his Rossi 92, how nice it was. And then I seen Chrome Spincock and Rossi 92s and that on his videos, and I was like, well, Plowboy talks good about them. I see Chrome spinning them, so I'm gonna get one. And I just got one that it designs as it was, or it functioned as it was designed. It wasn't designed to do spin cocking, and mine just doesn't do it. But like I said, I'll make it do it, or I truly believe it may take me a while, but I truly believe that I can make it do it. I kind of wanted to do it with just a bone stock gun, but I'm not worried about it. I will make it where it's still a good, reliable shooter and all that, but yet I can spin cock it. Yeah, the I've got Ubertis and Pietas, and I will say now, both my single action Army clones are Pietas. They're both pistoleros. That was another purchase because of Plowboy. I blame a lot of my purchases on Plowboy. He gets more guns than just about anybody I know, other than 11 Bang Bang. But they don't play around with clones. Them guys buy the real deal, and that's out of my budget. But Plowboy, he buys a lot of clones, and he talked about how nice Pistolero was, and I have to say, out of the box, it had both my Pistoleros had the best action I've ever seen on any single action. My Ubertis, any of them. I mean, them things were like almost race quality out of the box as far as the action. They didn't need anything done to the action. The springs were light, all that. My Ubertis had heavier springs and just they didn't feel as smooth as my Pieta. I still had to lighten the spring though to do the race gun on for my race gun. I needed to lighten the hammer spring up even more than what it comes from the factory. What do you mean? How much, Tuco? How much for what? I'm sorry, did I miss something? Um, if you're asking how much I paid for the Pistoleros, um, I don't think I paid. I think I paid between 500 and five and a half for each one when I bought it. Um, like I said, Pieta back in the 70s and the 80s, they weren't the best quality guns back then. I never owned a 90s Pieta. Um, all the ones I've got now were built in the like mid 2000s up, and I mean they really stepped their game up. I mean they're putting out really nice, at least pistols. I don't know about anything else, but they're open tops, they're single action armies and that. I mean they're putting out really nice guns. Hey, Biggie man. Yeah, I blame Plowboy all the time. I'll actually call Plowboy sometimes and tell him, you did it again. I just bought another gun. Thanks a lot. Wife's mad at me or whatever. But I buy a lot of guns off of Plowboy's reviews. Oh, that the Winchester 92s. I've never seen an actual Winchester 92 at the gun shop. I see a lot of they're all 94s, but like I said, I've seen them where they were just somebody's hunting rifle. I mean, they were great guns, but you could see they had wear on the bluing and that or on the wood. I've seen them. Actually, I think they got one at my gun shop right now for I want to say $600. That the action's as tight as a brand new one, and the only real wear on it is right around the frame where somebody carried it, grabbed it by the frame like this, and carried it hunting. The bluing's kind of worn. Um, and I've seen, on average, it seems like Winchester 94s run 700 to $1,000 for used Winchester 94s that are in really nice shape. Um, the Model 92 Rossi, my gun shop, when mine came in, they told me I stole that. It was just over $600 I paid for it, won on an auction, and they told me that they couldn't even get one for less than seven and a half. So, as far as them Rossi 92s, yeah, that's how I get a lot of guns. I just bid on them on the auction. I know how much I can afford to spend, and that's what I bid on. And I lose way more than I win. But I mean, you guys have seen videos on my Cape guns and like that Rossi and stuff. I mean, I do win some and get really good deals on them. Uh, Biggie Man, in my opinion, the best 45 Colt single action Army clone, and this is just my opinion, is the Pietas, whether it be the Great Western. Tuco runs Great Westerns, and he loves them, or at least Tuco, chime in. I'm pretty sure you run the Great Westerns. I run Pistoleros. I love the Pistolero. I tried to make a race gun out of a Uberti, and Uberti makes beautiful firearms, but I don't think that they harden their steel as good as Pieta. Um, I only ran, you know, practicing the triple shot maybe 30 times out of a Uberti that I was trying to build a race gun out of open top, and it was starting to blow the notches out on the cylinder, so I stopped. I don't have a Pieta or a Uberti single action Army clone, but I know that on other Pietas that I've worked on, my open tops and that, or I'm sorry, Ubertis, that the metal is softer. If I'm filing something to fit, Uberti seems to have softer metal than Pieta. So, just my opinion. Hopefully, Plowboy and 11 Bang Bang and Tuco will chime in. But in my opinion, Pieta, Pistolero, or I believe it's the Great Western that Tuco shoots, are probably the best single action clones out there. And I believe that Great Western is a 4-click hammer. I know the Pistoleros are because I've got 2 of them. I don't want, on a single action Army, I don't want a transfer bar. I don't want a 3-click hammer. I want it to be as traditional as it can. I want a 4-click hammer. Tuco agrees with me. Stephen Mann agrees with me. So I would say that um, Biggie Man Prepper, if you're going to get a single action Army clone, go with the Pieta. Great Western 2 is what Tuco runs. So either get a Pistolero or a Great Western 2, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with it in any way, shape, or form. And to anybody that took that video when I threw that rifle out there that Rossi or junk, I will never say that. I've only had one Rossi rifle. It's that one that I got. That thing right out of the box was smooth. I mean, it would cycle, never had a problem out of it or nothing. I was just expecting the gun to do something that it wasn't designed to do. Got frustrated, so now I'm going to have to make the gun do what I want it to do. Yeah, see, I don't know anything about the Schofield clones. I'm assuming that's Ethan on the 11 Bang Bang. Sometimes Garrett comes on as 11, or no, Garrett comes on as 11 Bang Bang Garrett. So that is Ethan. Ethan can definitely tell you way more about, well, Ethan or Garrett, either one on 11 Bang Bang, can definitely tell you way more about Ubertis and Pietas than I can, because between the 2 of them, um, if they took all the Pietas and Ubertis they got, along with their Colts and Smith and Wessons and Winchesters and that, and trapdoors, uh, they could probably make any gun store out there look like uh, a gas station as far as products go. I mean, them guys, they have extensive experience with the clones and the real deal. Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. That is Ethan. I agree too, Cole. If you're going to have a single action Army, you definitely need to learn how to work on it, because, I mean, if you like them as much as I do and as much as some of these guys do, I mean, you're gonna wear parts out. and when you get parts, you got to fit them. I know that my pistolero, my race gun, in the 3 months that I was learning how to do the triple shot and doing the triple shot, I was going out every week, and I didn't video every time I went out, but I was going out every week and shooting anywhere from 100 to 200 shots, whether it was blanks or live ammo. And I mean hammering it. You see how you do the triple shot. So um, that gun, I actually wore a hammer out on it. Well, I didn't wear the hammer out. I broke the pin that holds the firing pin in the hammer. Um, and I went through 3 or 4. I think I'm on the 4th spring now in 3 months. You might as well say about every 3 weeks I was wearing a hammer spring out because I was just, well, between lightening them and then hammering the hell out of the gun, it doesn't take, I mean, they wear out. So if you're just a guy that's getting it to go to the shooting range or something, it'll probably last you a lifetime. But if you're trying to do fast draw or triple shot or anything like that, where you're hammering the gun, I would suggest that if you're going to get a single action army, get you a book but learn how to work on it. But then again, like I said, there's other guys that have more experience, like Tuco, 11 Bang Bang, Plowboy, and them guys that have way more experience with single action armies than I do that can give you better advice than I can. I'm just telling you my opinions, my experience. Yeah, files and stones, or especially if you're going to build a race gun or something like that, a really nice set of jeweler's files, some stones, them are going to be a must, things that you have to have. Yeah, the Rugers have went up really high in price, and I I love Rugers. I've had a bunch of them in my life. I still have a Ruger 44 Bisley 44 mag that I'll never part with. Beautiful gun, but for me, when I'm doing a triple shot, for the most part, I prefer. And I know the Vaquero looks like the old Colt Peacemaker. On an outside appearance, it looks like it, but it's a transfer bar safety in that. And I just prefer to be as close to the real Colts as I can. And that's where you get into the Pieta and the Uberti clones. But I'm going to tell you right now, if a good deal I run across a good deal on a Vaquero or another Super Black Hawk or a new model Black Hawk or whatever, I won't let a Ruger go by if I get a good enough deal on it. Yeah, I do believe Rugers are overpriced. I mean, like I said, they're good guns. And if you're going to shoot hot loads, definitely buy a Ruger. I won't shoot hot loads through my Pieta or Uberti Colt clones, but I'm not spending $800-900 or $1,000 on a single action army looking pistol. I'm just I could buy 2 Pietas for that price and have double the fun. But if you plan on shooting hot loads, then definitely go with a Ruger because you don't want to blow a finger or a thumb off or something like that. If you're planning on going with hot loads, definitely go with the Ruger. So I don't know. Unless you guys got more questions, I'll give it a minute and see if you guys got any more questions. But I mainly just so many people were asking me not to blow that 92 up, and then other people wanted to know what I was going to do with it and that. Um, I just figured I'd do a live video to kind of address that. And I kind of like doing these live videos because then I get to interact with you guys. Even though they don't get a lot of views, it's still pretty cool to be able to interact with you guys and all. So, but if you haven't watched Tuco the Rat, go check out Tuco. If you haven't watched 11 Bang Bang, if you haven't watched Jay Wheeler, if you haven't watched Stephen Mann, if you haven't watched Plowboy's Ghost, and you're into cowboy guns or flintlocks, muzzle loaders, any of that stuff, go check out them channels, and I promise you, you'll enjoy them. Some of them are educational, some of them are good entertainment, but they're all really good guys. Your wife must have a Ruger then, huh, Tuco? Because I'd be, man, the cylinder walls are so thin on my Pieta and Uberti clones that I'd be afraid to shoot anything other than, a factory load through it. I wouldn't want to, like, try and hop up a load too hot. Yeah, Tom, double rifles. I love double rifles. I can't afford to buy them, though. Them things are expensive, so I build them myself. And actually, Tom, if this is the same Tom I think it is, I am going to get back to work on that 4570 double rifle that you sent me some brass and bullets for. I still really appreciate that. I'm just probably going to wait to do that as a wintertime project just because I'm so swamped at work right now and I need a TIG welder to do some of that stuff and to weld the parts that I fabricate. It's over an hour drive for me to get to my buddy's shop to use his TIG welder and that. And we're so swamped during the summertime and that it's just hard for me to get time. It's hard for me to get time to sneak out for an hour and do some shooting for a video or something. So the double, I'm this winter it's going to get done. Um, it's definitely a priority. Um, this winter, it's probably one of the main priorities is to get that done, and then I want to do some shooting with it and that. But yeah, Tom sent me some brass, 4570 brass. I'm gonna make that 4570, and he sent me some bullets. Some of them were 500 grain. I think there was some 400 grain, and then there was some 300 grain or 312 grain. Um, Probably the 300 grain though, 300, 312 grain, I'm going to probably resize. And I think they would be perfect in that rossi with 35 grains of black powder for a hell of a deer load out of that thing. I mean, they make that same exact rossi 92 and 454 Casull and 45 where you can shoot either one in it. So I have no problems loading up a 35 grain or I don't know if 40 grains would do it. If I could seat the bullet far enough to be able to chamber it or not. But I think a 35 grain 777 load with that 300, I think it was 312 grain hard cast, the blue coated bullets you sent me. I think that'd make just a great deer round, especially in like where I hunt in thick brushy areas and that where you don't get more than a 50-yard shot. Yeah, and again, thank you, Tom. I really appreciate you sending me that stuff, and I will get that done for you. I promise. I know you're looking forward to that video. So is Garrett. He's been on my ass for a while. Well, on my butt for a while about getting that double barrel rifle done. So, has anybody got anything else they want me to talk about, or any questions, or whatever? Like I said, we'll give it a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna get off of here and probably go spend some time with my wife before she divorces me, because I'm always busy doing something. I don't ever stop. But anyway, that's like I said. I don't. What you see in the videos is the real deal. If I'm having a bad day, that's real. It's not for show. I mean, even if it was funny, it wasn't funny when I was making the video. I was pretty ramped up there. But like my shooting videos, if I have a bad day shooting, if I can't hit nothing, I mean, I'm not gonna edit it and try and make myself look better than what I am. the triple shot. I mean, I got to keep practicing because right now I'm the slowest guy in the triple shot club, and that's not acceptable. I can't be the slowest guy. I could be the next to the slowest guy, but can't be the slowest guy. So, but like I said, what you see is what you get on this channel. I'm not an entertainer or a comedian or any of that stuff. I'm just a regular everyday guy like all you guys, busting my ass, trying to get by, trying to survive, and trying to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, the double rifles are pretty rare, and I don't think there's anybody building them and doing YouTube videos on it. But I don't think there's a big following for double barrel rifles. I mean, the videos just don't do good. I mean, the only one that's done good is the one where I actually didn't shoot the double rifle. I was just answering a question. One of the subscribers said that it looked like it was brutal to shoot, and I was actually in the backyard and just demonstrating how I lean forward, lean into it, and that video was just a short, and I mean it took off, and I think it's up around, I don't know, I mean 16, 18,000 views. It may even be more than that, but there just doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people that interested in the cape guns or the drillings or the double barrel rifles or I mean I'm still going to do videos on them when I feel like doing them. I do this more for me. It's just a hobby. It's for fun. That's why I don't ask people to like, subscribe, or share. I figure if you like it, you'll click like. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. If this ain't your thing, cool. I mean, it don't hurt my feelings none. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll get faster with the triple shot. I mean, I did it fast a few times. I mean, my fastest time was 0.2 seconds, but you know, that was with live ammo, and the the rules with the triple shot club don't change for me or anybody else. I mean, you set the rules up the way you set the rules up. I'm not going to enter that in there. Not to mention that doing the triple shot with live ammo is really dangerous. Not even so much shooting yourself, but I mean, when you're trying to hammer that thing back fast and you got recoil, you better have a really good place to shoot because you could overshoot the backstop and launch a bullet through somebody's house or hit somebody driving down the road or whatever. I'm not going to recommend anybody ever does the triple shot with live ammo. Uh, like that disclaimer I put on that one video, just because I'm a idiot doesn't mean you should be an idiot too. Ask my wife, I'm king of the idiots. So don't even try and outdo me because you can't. My wife will tell you I'm the king of the idiots. Yeah, like I said, I love the double rifles. Um, I'm gonna do some videos probably this fall or this winter shooting my other one. It's a 416 Taylor now, but I'm gonna ream it out. Actually, when I ream the chambers for the 4570, I'm gonna ream the chambers out on the 416 Taylor and make it a 416 Rigby double barrel rifle. And then when I get the 4570 done, there'll be some 4570 double rifle videos. Um, I got some ideas. I still haven't found a horse yet, but I want to do the triple shot off a horseback. I just got to find somebody that has a horse that's not gun shy, and then I want to hopefully by then have the spin cocking down, and I want to be able to do some spin cocking off a horseback. Um, I've been watching a lot of this cowboy mounted shooting. I'd love to set up some like balloons on posts or something and shoot them, with blanks with, you know, something in them to pop balloons, at 15 yards or 10 yards. But I'd like to be able to actually do some shooting off a horseback and pop some balloons and stuff like that. Hey, it's Vinny the Pooh. He's got another pretty cool channel too. He's up in Canada, which is crazy because I have to pay $200 and ask for permission if I want to SBR my Rossi into a mare's leg, but they don't. Canada of all places, I would think would be harder, but SBRs are legal there, so maybe someday we can get Vinny to do a mare's leg video or something if he's into that kind of stuff. It's good to see you, Vinny. But yeah, I someday I'll have a mare's leg. I just, like I said, I've never shot one, and it's hard for me to dump 1,000 or 12 or $1,500 on a gun that I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. So, I mean, they look really cool, but I mean, I just don't know if I'd like it or not. So, um, actually, Steven, I was talking to a guy that does um, some of that cowboy mounted shooting, and he loads his own blanks. I think he said he actually uses 1F black powder because it's so big that it's still burning when it comes out the barrel and that. He said it's almost like at 10 yards or less, it's like shooting bird shot. The actual black powder is what pops the balloons. Um, you know, especially shooting off a horseback, off a horse that's running. If you ever watch cowboy mounted shooting, that'd be really hard to do with wax bullets because, I mean, them horses are on a dead run. But, maybe some of them do. I don't know. I'm just going by what the one guy told me. Yeah, the safari rifles is definitely my YouTube uh, thing, but like I said, they don't get many views. So, and I mean the whole object of doing the videos is to get views to build the channel. So, I mean, I throw stuff in there knowing it's not going to get good views, just because it's what I enjoy. And I mean, like I said, this is a hobby for me, but for me to justify the amount of time I put into it that I could be spending with my wife or this and that, I mean, I kind of got to show that, it's growing and it's doing something, or the wife's going to be like, it's a waste of time. Yeah, Ethan, I mean, that's just one of them guys. I talked to him on Facebook, in the comments, and that's what he was telling me about. They used 1F. Like I said, that was just one person. I don't know if they all do that, but I mean, that's just, I'm going by what I was told by one person. But I will say that I bet you I could get a good amount of views if I could ever afford a trip over to Africa and shoot a lion with a double barrel rifle I built. I'll bet you that would get a lot of views. But just me taking them to the shooting range and shooting them, or even showing them and talking about them, they just don't. I don't know why, but people are people love the old Western guns, and people love the modern guns, the ARs and the AKs and that. But like the drillings, the three-barreled guns, double barrel with a rifle barrel underneath it, or the Cape guns where you've got one rifle barrel, one shotgun barrel, or even double barrel rifles, they just don't seem to get the views. I mean, I don't think any of my Cape gun or double rifle videos from last winter have hit 600 views yet. They don't get the views. There's just not a lot of the people that watch them will they'll watch every video you put out about them, but there's just not. It just doesn't seem to be a lot of people watching them videos. But I think I'm gonna get off of here and call it a night. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go watch TV with the wife or find something to do, spend some time with her before I end up in divorce court. So yeah, our laws on short barreled rifles, Vinny, is stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, it is what it is. Ain't nothing I can do about it. Ain't nothing gonna change. So far, I've never wanted an SBR bad enough to pay $200 and ask for permission. That just, to me, it's not worth it. But I really want a mare's leg. So if I see a Rossi that the another Rossi 92 or something that's just nobody's bidding on, and I can swing it, maybe I'll bid on one and pay the $200 if I have six, $700 or $800 into it. It's still way cheaper than what I can get a mare's leg for. You know, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I don't ever set my mind too much on anything because I'm liable to change my mind at any point. Some things I won't change my mind on. Like once I set my mind to do the triple shot, I was not going to give up until I did it. And now that I did it, I'm not going to give up until I get faster. Same thing with spin cock and the Rossi. I have my mind set. If I have to go buy another rifle to do it, if this one just cannot ever do it, no matter what I do to it, you know, if I have to buy a Winchester, a real Winchester 94, I'll look for the most beat up one I can find as far as how it looks, as long as it functions good. Because I know the Winchester Model 94 will do it, but I will have a rifle just for spin cocking and doing videos with, whether one way or another. I'm not giving up on that. It's just something I want to do, and I'm going to do it eventually. Hopefully with this Rossi 92 though. But I think I've got it figured out, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think eventually it just, I'm looking at it now, and I'm, after I blew the steam off and vented and got it out of my system, I could look at it with fresh eyes, so to speak, and I'm about 99.9% sure I know what I need to do now to make it work. So anyway, I hope everybody has a good night, and that's where I'm going, or where I'm heading with the Rossi. I'm not gonna blow it up. I'm not gonna give up on it. I just don't feel the need to do that. So, and all you that reached out to me to try and see if there was something you could do to help, or just to tell me, hey man, you understand my frustration in that. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Um, that's why I do these videos. Is for one thing, the friends I've made, just you know subscribers, and then the friends I've made with other creators. If the channel never gets any bigger, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. No amount of money I've ever made, that I could ever make off of YouTube would be worth the friendships that I've made. So that's just where I'm at with it. Hope everybody has a good night, and I'm gonna work on the Rossi this weekend. Who knows? If I get lucky, maybe before the weekend's out, I can get another video in on it. So have a good night, everybody, and I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later.